Hello, me again. This time of year is always a busy one for me. For starters, I mean, I've been talking about some of the things that are happening in my life at the moment, and some of the things that I'm doing now, and this is one of them. This is the latest issue of the Stinger magazine, issue 2. And that came out about this time last week, and so there's been lots of activity around that, getting it out into all distribution places or the outlets that we do. I know we haven't got to everywhere yet, but when you've got sort of 5,000 or so copies, and we've distributed, I think, well over 3,000 copies of them now. But the magazine sort of lasts for 2 months, if you know what I mean. The next one isn't out until June. Obviously, there are some sort of time-specific things. There are previews of events that are coming up in the start of May. So yes, we are conscious that we need to get these things out, and of course we have to keep going back and replenishing places as well, which is a good thing, that people run out of copies, and we're still getting people asking where can we get copies, and it's a learning process. A lot of these things, and once again I will talk about the magazine probably at one time, but like everything else, you start up a project or something, there are so many sort of learning curves within it, whether it be actually producing the magazine, the design of the magazine, the content of the magazine, the advertising side of it, which pays for it, just a free magazine, how you distribute it, where you distribute it, how many copies, everything, how many people you can have around you, who you trust, who you don't trust, who's reliable, and all those sort of things that take a lot of time and a lot of working out, but everything seems to be going well. But one of the things that is mentioned in the magazine is the coming up of Hastings Rock, and I've mentioned that recently once again is because I'm not so involved with it this year. I'm not on the committee, so I'm not there building studios or helping out in all those sort of ways like I would have been. I think they sort of part built the studio yesterday. In years gone by, I would have been up there helping out and doing things and all this sort of stuff. But one thing that I do is the local music shows, and I've started doing, going through all the local music as I have, because I've been busy doing other things, but partly because of what I've been doing is all tied up with local music anyway. I'm still getting sent local music, as I have done in previous years, and people know that it's coming up. There's certain people, a CD drops through the door in April or something, you think, even if you didn't realise already, Hastings Rock must be coming up because X or Y have dropped a CD through my door. They're very reliable people I only ever hear from sort of once a year. But I've been going through all these today. These are sort of some of the these are actually the shows that I did last year, and checking those, and because I try and play new songs every single year. It isn't always possible, but sort of try and pride myself on the fact that just about everything you hear on the shows from year to year will be new. It may be the same artist, but hopefully you won't have heard the song before. But of course I do, these are the ones from Carnival FM, which I do in August, and of course I get things to play in May, but I may not have them in August, so it's sort of cross-referencing, because trying to make sure that you didn't play those sort of things or whatever, or things came out since of May of last year. So all of that sort of going along as well. And yesterday, actually, another thing with all of these things is you're meeting up with different people, and whatever day are we, Wednesday, Monday evening I met up with a relatively new friend, Barry, who's a promoter, and he can tell you great stories about lots of different things of his time when he was at a band that were touring with Led Zeppelin in Europe in 1969, that sort of time when they were just really hitting it off, and they've been in the news today because of the re-release or remastering and all the new stuff that they found, and Jimmy Page has been spending two years or something, and they're going to bring out the first 3 albums. And coincidentally saw Barry the other night, had a chat, and we were talking about that and how what the guys were like and touring with them and all this sort of stuff. So all these sort of interesting people, and there's a great story he could tell you about Rod Stewart, but maybe I'll save that for another one. And talking with him, and then yesterday I met up with another guy talking about Carnival FM, which is hopefully coming up in August. And I had some concerns myself because I do a local music show, and in the past I've done live sessions within those. I can't really do it for Hastings Rock because I don't really have the technical backup, and it's all the time. I'm usually for Hastings Rock, usually in the studio, especially for the local music shows, on my own. It's just me with some CDs and computers and that sort of stuff. With Carnival FM, generally there are backup people to help out with technical sides, and also there's a bit more room so that you can actually have live sessions, but there are people there to help you to film it, to record it, to help with the technical side of the computers and all that sort of stuff. Take the weight off of me so that I can liaise with the bands and have a chat and sort all these things out. once again, this all takes quite a bit of sorting out, and that's one of the things I was talking to my mate Pat yesterday, because I had some concerns about how it was going to work this year, because certain people might not be around. But thankfully, when you get people that have these chats and you start throwing ideas around, we think we've got some solutions to that. So hopefully that'll be coming back. I've no guarantee actually that the station will be on the air, because I'm not really getting involved once again with that, as I have done in past years. Same reasons, busy doing other things in the nicest possible way. So that's a lot of the things that come up. But tomorrow I've actually got another piece of paper here. I'm actually doing being interviewed for a video documentary all about the local music scene, and I was involved with one about a year ago, which was all tied up with Peerless Music. I might actually, if I remember, I'll put a link to that just in case people haven't seen it. And it was all to do with the start-up of the Peerless Music project, and myself and Rich were in it, and the band Kid Capici were in it, and all this because of all the things that were going on as well. This is something, once again, it's done through the University of Hastings, or Brighton University in Hastings, and they have video, media, entertainment sort of students, and they have to do projects, and this particular person's doing one all about the local music scene and interviewing several different people. It's not just about the original music, it's just the music scene generally, I believe. But they're interviewing me tomorrow, get my thoughts about certain aspects about the magazine itself, and about other things, and about how what I do and what others do help promote the music, and why we do it, and why it needs to be done, I suppose. So that's another one of those sort of interesting things that's going on. So lots going on. I'll probably talk about Hastings Rock, but one thing I will say actually is that because I'm not now on the committee, the amount of people that have said to me personally via email, text, whatever it be, via Facebook and all those other places I meet in the street, I say, are you not DJing this year or something? Just because I've come off the committee, and they think that I'm not involved in any way. I'm DJing as much as I've ever been. I think this year, doing the local music shows on a Sunday, still doing a show on a Saturday, and I'm actually doing 2 weeks between midday and 3 on the 3rd and the 4th week, sort of Monday to Friday. So that's pretty much as I've ever done. So I'm still there, I should be there, but as I said before, it will be interesting. We've got a DJing meeting, I think it's next Monday. That will be strange as well, because it's usually me doing all the talking. So that'll be Tony's job this year, and I should try and keep my mouth shut and try and keep out of it instead of going into my normal routine. So but he's doing a good job so far from what I can make out, and I'm sure it'll be a good broadcast, and it's certainly be an interesting broadcast from my point of view, because see it from a slightly different angle, and just sort of walk in and just get on with it, and then walk out again, probably without any associated issues that may well come along, which they do sometimes, that other people might not be aware of. Even certain committee members aren't always aware of some of the things that go on behind the scenes, and the phone calls and the texts and the emails and that they go. But anyway, another story, another day. Hastings Rock is back, for those who are interested, Saturday the 3rd of May, 24 hours a day, live DJs most of the time, just throughout the night, and then they have RoboJock. It will be online once again. You can check out the website, hastingsrock.co.uk. There's a little poster over there, you probably can't see it very well. I was trying to find a bigger one, couldn't find it, but leave it there. Thanks for your time. I should get on sorting out all the local music, and there's some cracking stuff. But if you are a local musician and you haven't got that CD or those MP3s to me, you haven't got very long. Speak to you soon. Goodbye.